Sara Moses, and I am the host of the Do It Now podcast. And I am so over the moon excited to interview today Catalina Grija, Dr. Catalina Grija. I need to make that correction, Dr. Catalina Grija. No, because we met in at an event that we were both attending last week in Houston, and I was blown away from the moment I heard you talking. And I heard how much knowledge you have and wisdom you had. And you used this word functional medicine, which we're going to get to next because I want to go into detail. But could you take a few minutes and share with my audience a little bit about you and your what's important to you and a little bit about what you've been doing in this lifetime of yours? Right?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on, Sarah. I'm honored to be here, and it was so nice meeting you too. And I am a traditional medicine I'm an internal medicine physician, but my passion has always been for nutrition and natural as possible route. And I transitioned to functional medicine 4 years ago. And I am passionate about preventive health, about preventive medicine, in maintaining health, getting the best health that you can have, because we only have one life, and why not make it the best? And I don't want people to have to suffer with medical problems later on in life because of lifestyle. And I don't want people to be on a lot of medications because of lifestyle. So anything that we can prevent, why not?
Right. Can you help me, because I want to be really clear, because I had no idea what functional medicine meant or was, and I think we always assume that everyone knows what it means. So you were an internal medicine doctor, and
Yes.
4 years ago you decided to move into functional medicine. Can you explain that for our audience? Like, just imagine that none of us know what that means, because I did not know. So maybe it'll be helpful for other people.
Sure, absolutely. So in functional medicine, you go to the root of the problems. You don't care about a certain diagnosis, but you care about the person's symptoms. And you dive deeply into why this person has these problems. So you want to fix the problem. And we understand that everything starts at a genetic level, possibly at a cellular level. And we depend on nutrients to help our body function. Every cell, every reaction in our body depends on macronutrients and micronutrients, and of course genetics and what we expose our bodies to environmentally wise. So if we can get to the root of the problems and fix those, you can fix the problem instead of having chronic illnesses that you keep controlling with medication without attempting to cure. In functional medicine, there is a lot more personal involvement as a patient, because you understand that it's not the easy way. It's not, okay, I take a pill and hope for the best. It's, I have to do the work. I have to do the testing. I have to change my lifestyle. I have to take some certain supplements if needed. I need to make changes in my diet. I may need to reorganize my pantry and my fridge and my whole house if needed. But it's all for our health.
And can I ask you what motivated you? What inspired you to make this big change? Because it is a big change, right? To change what does it look like, and what does it mean in the medical profession? Because for us lay people, we don't really know what that means, the choice that you made.
It was a huge jump for me.
Mhm.
Um, there are more and more physicians that are evaluating functional medicine and are practicing functional medicine because they're frustrated with the medication world, basically, with pharma, and with the fact that we're just looking for medications and not for solutions. So, but it was a big jump because most traditional medicine doctors don't believe in functional medicine, don't believe that the intestine is the center of the universe, don't believe that we need to do genetic testing to see how we can modify our environment to fit our genetic background. They don't believe in micronutrients and cellular detoxification, and the approach is totally different.
Wow.
And there's certain, of course, standards of care that were well established and everybody has to abide by if you practice traditional medicine. So you don't have freedom. And especially if you are employed physician,
Mhm.
you don't have any freedom whatsoever.
Mm.
But for me, I have always been I've been focused on trying to use as few medications as possible,
Mhm.
always pushing patients to change their lifestyle, always educating. I love
Mhm.
that part.
Mhm.
And I started, a few years ago taking some supplements myself and with my family, and we noticed such great benefits
Mhm.
that mm, opened my eyes to the possibilities. Like, if one little thing can do this, there must be something else out there besides
Oh,
vitamins and the
yeah.
usual, right? And eating healthy and all that. But we don't know what we don't know.
Mm. Yes. Yes. So true. This is amazing. So it sounds like it was a personal experience you had that you leaned into finding out, is there something with my nutrition or supplements that could help me instead of medication? And it helped you so much in your family that you thought, well, maybe there is an alternative, and that's what made you go down this path?
Yes, it opened my eyes to the possible choices that we can have with supplements, and
Mhm.
when you start, you see what you focus on, right?
Mhm.
What you're
Mhm.
looking for.
Mhm.
And while I was searching for more answers, about supplements and um, the possibility of treating certain medical conditions with supplements, I I discovered functional medicine,
Wow.
and I started following Dr. Mark Hyman,
Love
who's the
him.
founder, right? Yes. And I mean, I was mesmerized. I
Oh.
was like, this is what I've been looking for. This is exactly what I want.
Yeah.
And my passion has always been in the weight management and metabolic problems like diabetes and high cholesterol.
Mhm.
And I that's what I wanted to do. I said, if I can prevent people from having the burden of being overweight for years or attempting to do a bariatric surgery that may work and in most cases may not work,
Yes. Yeah.
um, this is all worth it. And I've had fantastic experiences since then.
That's so good. It's reminding me of a personal story that I want to share. I a few years ago was diagnosed with high blood pressure, and I went to the doctor, and he immediately put me on medication. And I remember thinking, because I was young, I mean, I still think I'm young. People might not agree, but I'm 55 years old. So this was like I was 52, 53. And I remember thinking, why aren't we looking into why would a young person have high blood pressure? Why would we just immediately put me on blood pressure instead of changing maybe some of the things that were going on in my life that were does that make sense to you? Am I
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's there is very little nutrition education in universities, in medical school. So people don't emphasize that.
Mm.
But the truth is that we are what we eat.
Mm-hmm.
And because again, when we don't know how our body works, genetically speaking, all our enzymes and what works, what doesn't work, you
Mm.
cannot have a personalized nutrition plan because you don't know what you don't know again.
Yeah, so I want to talk about this genetic testing because this is new to me. When you were talking about this at this event, I hadn't actually heard that part of the equation. Can you go into this a little bit because it might be new for a lot of people? What does that mean? Genetic testing.
Absolutely. So I'm talking about nutrigenetic testing, which looks at all the enzyme, the genes encoding
Hmm.
enzymes, all the most studied enzymes in our body that govern cholesterol metabolism and carbohydrate metabolism and oxidative stress
Hmm.
and how much inflammation we have in our body at baseline, many inflammatory markers we have, or how we metabolize vitamins, how we activate vitamin D in our body, right? To activate vitamin A. If our liver detoxifies toxins and hormones properly or not. A
Right.
lot of people do not have certain genes that encode certain enzymes in the liver. So their detoxification processes are impaired. And if they knew that, I'm sure their diet would be different, their alcohol intake would be different.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
they would not work in certain areas with exposure to certain chemicals.
Mm.
Again, if you knew what you needed to know, everything would be different. There are the genetic testing also, nutrigenetic testing also for sports, for athletes, where you can see exactly how much recovery you need, how much training you need, what is your best performance in,
Mm.
what time you should exercise, is caffeine good for you or not, what's your potential. um, so much you can find out. You can find out if you exercise, for example,
Mhm.
whether you burn fat from
Mhm.
stores when you exercise or not. So exercise is really important for you to lose weight or maintain weight or not. Or you're
Mm.
causing more inflammation actually if you exercise too much.
Wow, this is incredible. May I ask, is this taught to you in medical school?
No, no. And still to this date is not. I mean, yeah, when we graduated, no, definitely not. Genetics was genetics, yeah. But nutrigenetics is very now well known in functional medicine,
Mm.
and I became certified in nutrigenetics, and I love it because I can give a personalized treatment to somebody, personalized plan for nutrition, for activity,
Mhm.
whether again they need to go change everything in their household in
Right,
terms
right.
of detergents, chemicals, and everything. um,
Mm.
Again, for athletes, I'm working with kids in sports teams, and
Mm.
it makes a huge difference.
That's so amazing. I love if you're open to it, of course, not revealing anyone's name or personal information. Can you give us a recent case study of someone you've been working with that's had, a big win or big gains from doing this type of testing with you and working with this functional medicine model?
Oh, absolutely. So I worked with several people, obviously, by now,
Yeah, yeah.
but this lady had a weight issue, and also they were trying to have a baby.
Mm.
And this was not happening. And we did the genetic testing and other testing for cellular nutrition, and we figured out what was wrong there, and we
Mhm.
found certain things that were wrong, and we changed her diet, her lifestyle, certain supplements, and 4 months later she was pregnant.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Not to mention the number of people that have lost weight because of knowing exactly how their body works and
Mm.
adjusting the diet
Yeah.
according to their genetics, to their DNA diet is called, and not just trying all the fad diets out there.
Can you give me a little example? Because I feel like that one topic, the weight loss, is a big hot topic for everyone, including my listeners and including me. I mean, it's interesting because I'm 55. I exercise all the time. I eat really healthy, and yet I carry weight around my middle. And I'm curious, like, let's just say I came into your office and met with you. What is some of the testing you might suggest, and what are some of the things you might look into that would be different from a medical doctor per se?
Mhm. Sure. Um, well, usually when you carry the weight around the waist, there has
Mhm.
to be insulin resistance issue
Insulin
and
resistance.
insulin resistance.
Okay.
And this you can see very well on genetic testing when you do the nutrigenetic testing.
Right.
You can see if you carry certain genes that make you more susceptible to that.
Hmm.
And then with the DNA diet, you see exactly what are your barriers, whether it's carbs or it's fats or
Mm.
it's both.
Interesting. Interesting.
And whether you have, again, whether you have an energy expenditure problem where you can exercise a lot, but you're not burning, you're not mobilizing fat from the stores as
Interesting.
you would have expected.
Yeah.
And then there could be hormonal issues, obviously,
Mhm.
and we address hormones a little bit differently. I mean, a lot differently. There is a test that looks at the metabolism of hormones
Mhm.
from the production all the way to the detoxification in the liver. So you can see exactly where it comes and where it goes. So not just the absolute numbers, which can be because it's produced, too much and it's eliminated too little, or it's
Right.
produced too little and so it's not a moment in time. It's how everything is metabolized at all times.
Interesting.
And then the intestine, the gut health is very important.
Mhm.
And especially nowadays, since so many people are stressed, so many people have taken antibiotics during their lifetime,
Mhm.
more or less, but
Mhm.
all of us, I think, took antibiotics at some point in time. The nutrition factor, because the foods these days, even if you eat organic and healthy,
Mhm.
they're depleted in nutrients.
Mm.
So
Mm.
they don't contain the same amount of nutrients. There was a study at some point that compared the content of nutrients in different vegetables. And I don't recall all of it, but 1 cup of spinach from 1950
Mhm.
was equivalent to 5 cups of spinach in 2010. And now we are in 2024. So it cannot be better,
Oh,
obviously.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So even if we eat healthy, you cannot not supplement
Right.
because you cannot have everything that you need. Because again, the soil is depleted, the
Right.
agricultural practices are how they are.
Right.
Everything is put fast on the shelves, but not let to ripe, to be ripe in natural conditions. So all
Mm.
of this is influencing the ability of our bodies to have what they need in terms of micronutrients, and then on top of it to absorb if the gut is affected, and
Mhm.
then to detoxify if you have all these enzymes issues or some of them. So it's not, that's why functional medicine is so wonderful, because again, it looks at all these things that make sense.
Right.
Makes sense. You have to figure out what's going on, looking at everything basically. It,
Mm.
it's you cannot ignore the basics, which is
Mhm.
nutrition and
Nutrition.
digestion and physiology, and yeah, it's not possible.
Oh,
So that's
so.
why I mean, I can tell you that I have people that have perfect nutrition, quote unquote, right?
Mhm.
And weight and everything. And they were so deficient in
E-
micronutrients like vitamins and minerals. So deficient. I have
Wow.
somebody that needed 10,000 units of vitamin A, which is a huge amount,
Wow.
considering that in any multivitamin you have about maybe 2,500 top.
Right. So this is so interesting because talk to me about how someone out there could get in touch with you and get the testing they need. Can you work with people virtually
I can work with people in Illinois.
in Illinois? Okay.
In
Okay.
Illinois.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And
But
then
virtually too. Yeah, sure.
yeah, and then you can obviously have some kind of like masterclass where you can at least give them the information that they need to then go find their own answers, which is amazing. Talk to me about that because I think it's so important that you are taking this knowledge that you have as a doctor and you're saying, I want to share it with other people. I want to share it with individuals. I want to share it with couples. Can you tell me a little bit about the two different courses that you have that you offer to people?
Sure. So I have one master classes for anybody who wants uh, to lose weight and become healthy, basically.
Mm,
Because once you're healthy, the weight is,
right.
just a
Yeah.
normal consequence, right?
Yeah.
Once your metabolism is at its best. And it's called Dream Body from Inside Out.
Ooh, that sounds really good. I want a dream body from inside out. Great
Yeah,
name.
thank you. So this I can guide anyone through the steps depending on again, it's personalized as always. There are some things that are for everybody,
Mhm,
but I cannot not use the personalized approach because I think it's the best.
mhm,
But everybody can do can go through different testing regardless of where they are. And
mhm,
in my masterclass I explain exactly what tests to do, and
mhm,
then they have access to my course for, again, everything from inside out, because mindset is very important, right? When
yes.
we try to do anything in life,
Mhm,
definitely trying to lose weight after failing how many times, or being frustrated, or having different stressors in our lives. And also the lifestyle and changes that they need to be made, and the testing that needs to be done, and the exercise type, and the consistency. I mean, if I think if everybody is consistent in doing the small steps every day,
mm,
success is inevitable.
so good.
But again, knowing what they need to know. So the testing is very important, but that can be done anywhere.
Yeah.
The second one is for couples. It's called Stand By Me,
Oh,
because I noticed that uh, very good. I had very great success with the wives being in the program, and then husbands coming on board
so
to support
good.
them, and then they say, "Well, I feel so good that I don't want to go back. Why would I go back?"
Right, right.
Usually
And it
it
makes
was
so much
just to
sense to
support.
have both people on the program, right? Because you're eating the same foods in the house and you're doing the same activities. That's such a great, great, great smart thing. And maybe it could even apply to roommates, right? I'm thinking about my daughter and her roommates who this is amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Doing things together, it's always the best thing.
Oh, this has been so incredible. And I love this idea because just for myself, I've had an instinct recently in the recent years that and this is controversial to say, but I'm just going to say it, that where the money flows, the attention goes. So in the medical profession, if there was money behind medications or chemo or whatever you want to call it, like that's all we were being told about. And I think it's incredibly exciting and encouraging that there's this functional medicine model that's coming out and there's other alternatives and we're being shared other information because it's what I've known in my gut instinct for a long time. So I'm super excited to hear what you're doing and I want to work with you. I want you to work with my daughter. I already told you that. I want everyone to be able to know more about you. I'm going to tell you right now, this is not the last time that I've interviewed you on my podcast because I think this is too important.
Oh, it is. It is. I think there's too much disease in this country. We are consuming 50% of the medications of the world, and that's not normal. We're not 50% of the population of the globe,
Mm-mm.
and this should not be happening. And more people are sick, and children are sick.
Mm.
Yeah, we're not going to go into that because
Right.
that's another passion of mine, and we can talk about it next time.
Next time,
But
yeah, next time for
it's
sure.
children should not be overweight and have diabetes and have to have surgeries and
Yeah,
depression and all this. No, should not be.
yeah. I'm just gonna say this out here to anyone because it's so funny. I got to this point where I was like, it's my podcast. I can say whatever I want. I used to work in the restaurant industry when I was going through high school and college, and I when I worked at these restaurants and we put the plate in front of the person, I would remember thinking, this is why we have an obesity problem in our country. And my suggestion to everybody, it's what I do, it's what my children do, is we eat half of what is served to us. At the most, we eat half of what is put on our plate. We can take it home in a doggy bag and eat it later, or we can, whatever we want to do with it. But there's an issue. They're serving us too much food. And I just think that we need to start talking about this. That's why we have obesity. There's too much sugar in everything. There's a reason why when you find out you have cancer and you go to the cancer doctor, the first thing he cuts out of your diet is sugar and then red meat and then alcohol. Let's just say those are, some important things to know. So maybe you want to cut those out before you have cancer. I don't know, because it's like the welcome hotel for cancer, apparently, right? But I'm so incredibly just grateful that someone like you, with the heart that you have and the mind that you have, has stepped into this arena. And I want to hear your voice being shared more. So, again, like I said, I want to talk to you again. But for right now, please let everyone know, where can they find you? How can they find you?
So I am in Oak Park, Illinois. And
Hmm.
so my website is catalinagrija.com.
Hmm.
And over there, they can set up an appointment or have a discovery call, free discovery call.
Hmm.
And on Facebook, at Catalina Grija, Instagram, Catalina Grija, the same
Okay.
thing. And the office phone number is 708-358-1299.
Okay.
And I would be happy to, advise, at least
Sure.
give them a
Yes. I want to let everyone know I'm going to put in the description today where to find Catalina. And it's so is it drcatalinagrija.com?
no, catalinagrija.com.
Catalina. So it's CATALINAGRIJA.com.
Yeah.
And find her on Instagram, find her on Facebook. And you're soon to have a Facebook community, correct? Is that something you're
I
putting?
have one,
Oh yeah.
Catalina Grija official.
Okay, great. Catalina Grija official.
Yeah.
Okay. Because everybody, we need to just be everything Dr. Catalina Grija because she's sharing such incredible knowledge and wisdom with us. And I am just thinking and knowing in my gut that this is what we need to be moving towards is functional medicine, knowing more about it, talking more about it. So they can join your masterclass and they'll be able to find those on your website.
So the next masterclass will be announced, and it will be on Facebook. It will be on my website
Right,
also,
right,
and they can find out also if they get on a call with me for a discovery call. I
right.
can lead them to the course and to the programs if they're in Illinois. So I'll be happy to
Mm.
help.
Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and even anyone being in your Facebook community. It's such a gift because we all have to remember every time I've been in a doctor's office, they have like 15 minutes where they talk to me and then they're off, and to be able to be in a Facebook community like yours, I'm sure you're sharing knowledge and sharing value and giving stories, and it's just so incredible. So this is only episode 1 with Dr. Catalina Grija because I have really, really enjoyed talking to you. And I know that there's so much more to talk about. And I'm so thankful for the work that you're doing and the knowledge that you're sharing. And yeah, so all of my listeners, I'm going to put in the description how to find Dr. Catalina Grija. We're going to be talking again, probably many more times. And I want to thank everybody for listening to the Do It Now podcast, where I just say, do it now, do it now, do it now, because the worst thing you could do to yourself is not become the person that you could be in this lifetime. Thank you, everybody, for listening.